Hello everyone and welcome. This is not really a lesson, this is more a presentation to introduce myself and talk about what you will learn in this journey, in this course. So first, who I am. My name is Bruno Simon. I'm a French creative developer, French as you can hear, sorry for the accent. I've been doing freelance for many years. I'm one of the former lead developer of Immersive Garden. Immersive Garden is a great French creative studio. Have a look to the projects. I've been teaching for many years in a multiple French postgrad and master degrees school. I teach web development basics like HTML, CSS, JavaScript to beginners, like fully beginners, but also WebGL and 3GS to more advanced developers. I love to do WebGL. I love to use 3GS. And I've been using 3GS for many years on many projects. In 2019, I made my portfolio. Maybe you've seen it. It was meant to showcase techniques for my students because my portfolio before was like not really good. So I decided to create a new one to show to my students, but I really enjoy doing it. And at the end, I made this huge thing. It took me 3 months, but anyway, it was really fun to make. I had a lot of fun. And you can just play around and discover just an environment and break things. And there are some Easter eggs hidden, but I will let you find them. So yeah, I did that. Well, why did I do this course? Well, I created this course. First, when I started, we didn't have many resources. It was many years ago. I cannot say exactly when, I don't remember, but I remember that it was really hard to learn. It was hard to learn WebGL. It was hard to learn 3GS. The library was already great when I started. There was many updates. We could do like a scene in just few lines of code, but the documentation wasn't following. And it's perfectly normal because the library was already pretty huge and it was always evolving. Having a documentation following the library is really hard. So yeah, we did have some glimpse of documentation, but we mostly had to dig into examples. And it was really hard for me. But still I manage, but nowadays, yes, the documentation is just great. Have a look to this documentation. You can go to the 3gs.org website. The documentation is just great. You can learn a lot. You have examples. You can test. You can see geometries. You can access to the examples really easily. So yeah, it's just great now. We also have decent tutorials. So there is already some tutorials around, pretty good. The library is stable now, but it keeps evolving. They are fixing bugs. They are adding new features. They are making it faster, lighter. Well, it keeps evolving. Yet an ultimate course that takes you by the hand was still missing. I think that we are missing like the course. You just need this course, and at the end, you know 3GS, and you can create your own project, which is why I did this course. Also, because after I published my portfolio, where the portfolio got pretty popular, many people asked me how to learn those techniques. I cannot do tutoring, I cannot do mentoring, so I decided maybe it was the good time to create this course, and also because I love teaching, I love 3GS, I love teaching. Many people ask me to do it. Well, let's go, let's do it. Anyway, what will you learn in this course? The course is really long. As you can see on the left of the page you're looking at right now, you can click and see the lesson. There is a lot of lessons and some of them are really long. Yes, because 3GS is huge, but you can create so many great stuff that there is almost no limit. But we have to learn all of these. And it's also because I want you to practice. I could have like shortened the lesson and do short lesson about just one technique. But then you would not practice, and it's all about practicing. The harder it is, the more practice you need. And this course is about practicing. We will do exercises. We will learn a technique and use the previous one. Learn a new technique and use the previous one. And again and again and again. It's all about practicing, you will see. First, you will learn the basics. You will learn how to create your first scene, like with a camera, stuff like that. You will add objects, so your first cube, your first donut, your first sphere, stuff like that. We will learn about choosing the right material. We learn that there is a lot of materials that will give a color to your geometries in a way. We will be adding textures. We learn what we can do with textures. You won't believe all the things you can do with textures. And then we will learn how to animate things. because it's important. We are not just doing a render, we are doing an experience in which you can interact, click on things and see things moving, evolve, etc. Then you will learn traditional skills, like creating your own geometries. Yes, we learn how to create your own geometries using code. You will learn how to add lights and shadows. You will learn how to interact with objects so that you can, I don't know, maybe just click on an object and know when the cursor is above an object. We will add then particles. Particles are just great. You will see that you can have a crazy result just with a few lines of code by creating particles. Then we will go to more advanced techniques like physics. Yes, you will learn to do physics. Just like I did in my portfolio, you will learn how to create a cube and then be able to apply a force on that cube, and then it will jump and, fall on other cubes, and you will see things tumble. We will learn how to do realistic renders, and it will look really great. Like how can we get this model to look realistic as possible? We will be writing our own custom shaders. If you don't know what is a shaders, do not worry, you will. I have many lessons for you about learning shaders because it's very important, and this is the way of unleashing the power of WebGL with Three.js. We will be adding some post-processing. Yet again, if you don't know what is post-process, do not worry, you will learn it with me. And we will also create our own model with Blender, and this is like bonus. Maybe you don't know Blender. Blender is a 3D software to create models, and we will learn how to use it. It's free. It's great. I've been using it for years. I really love this software, and we will use it to learn how to create a model and then export this model and then import this model in Three.js. You will see it's a great lesson. Creating stunning WebGL experiences is great, but if the performances are bad, nobody will enjoy your experience. So we will learn throughout this lesson. I will give you a lot of tips, and I will warn you about not doing things like that because of performances reasons, so that you can do like a very performant experience. It's very important. Some things might seem challenging, and it's perfectly normal. Do not worry. Maybe there will be like a lesson. You arrive at the end of the lesson and you think that, okay, maybe you didn't get everything. It's perfectly normal. The next lesson, we will apply what we learn and we will see it again. And I will remind you of why we're doing this, how to do things. So just continue and you will practice with me and you will learn. So do not worry. And still, if you don't understand, well, you can get back to the video the next day when you're rested, when you feel better. Just get back to the video and you will understand. I will also give you tips to create elegant experiences. I'm a creative developer, meaning I like to find the perfect tweak, the perfect color, create something good. I will give you like a lot of tips to find the perfect tweaks for your WebGL creations. So yeah, how to apprehend this course. First, find out how you can learn best. All right, nobody learns the same way, and you should go at your own pace. You need to find your best way to learn. But still, I will give you some recommendations, some advice. Those are my personal recommendations on how to learn best. But it's up to you. You have to find how you can learn best. First, I recommend to have the lesson on a second screen. If you have a second screen, just put the lesson here. Maybe not another computer or an iPad or stuff like that, because sometimes you will have like links to click on, or maybe code snippets you will have to copy and paste. So it's better if it's the same computer. And if you have a screen large enough, maybe you can just put the lesson on the right or the left, on the side, and just follow it. So it's fine too. Learn in the morning. For me, it's the case. My brain is fully active at the morning. I learn best at the morning. All right. It's up to you, but I know that in the evening, I'm just tired. I can still work, but I'm not as efficient as in the morning. Do not rush things. This is not a race. It's not a competition. You don't have to end this lesson as fast as possible. Maybe you have a project you really want to do, so you want to go as fast as possible. But if you go too fast, maybe you won't learn. So take your time, all right? Rest between lessons. There are going to be like small lessons. Maybe you can do 2 or 3, but there are going to be like huge lessons, like 2 hours, even more. Rest between lessons. Eat well, sleep enough, drink, stay healthy. Your brain is like a muscle. You have to take care of it. If you're tired, if you don't eat well, you won't be efficient and you won't learn. Yeah, and obviously shut down any distractions. Try to focus. You don't need to finish the whole course to start working on projects. All right. I don't know what are your projects, but at a point you can decide to drop out, do your project, and the 3GS journey course will be waiting for you. All right. So it's up to you. This course is really long. Maybe you don't need those really advanced techniques like shader, stuff like that. Maybe you don't need those. So if you want to stop for a while, just do it. If you want to go on your project, just do it. The course will be available for you when you want to come back. About the lessons, well, as you can see, you are watching a lesson right now, so it's not really a lesson, but anyway, it's kind of a lesson. Each lessons cover one subject, one like technical subject. It's better to follow them in the order. It's just better. Maybe you know about those, like, I don't know, you know how to create custom geometries. Well, just keep this lesson. It's okay if you don't want. Well, if you finally in the end you think that no, it wasn't maybe a good idea, well, you can go back. But you better do them like following them in the order. Each lesson will provide you with a starter zip file. So this is not the case of this lesson because we are not coding in this lesson. But right here there is. Sorry, I have to scroll up. Right here, there is the shaders lesson. Yeah, it's the shaders lesson. You have access to a starter pack. This starter pack, you download it, you unzip it, and you use it. I will teach you how to use it. I'm using Webpack. This way, we start with the same base. All right, do not worry. I will teach you how to use it. I also provide you a pop-in on how to use it, but we are going to see that together in a 1 or 2 lesson after this one. You also have access to a final zip file. So it's this one. It's just the project when it's ended. So that if you just want to have a look, you can. The lessons are available as video, just like this one you're looking at right now. As you can see, here is my layout. It will be kind of the same layout during the other lessons. There is the code in this part. So this is Visual Studio Code. I'm going to talk about this. I will like write the code here. This part will be for the preview so that you see what it should look like. So I will open the console when we are going to code. You also have those slides. Those slides are for me, so I can follow the lesson and make sure to say everything I have to say, but also for you. If my French accent is really too bad, just have a look at those and maybe you will understand. It's like my subtitle, all right? And also I will provide you a lot of drawings. It will be really handy when we are going to do like mathematics, trigonometry. I will just draw things. You will see that it's probably easier to understand for you. Oh yeah, by the way, sorry for the dog noises. It's not right here, but you might hear a lot of noises. It's like dinosaur noises. Sorry for that. It's just in the, I don't know, maybe few first lessons, and then I found a solution so you cannot hear it. The dog is fine. Do not worry. Lessons are also available as text on the same page. Yeah, if you really don't like my voice and my French accent, you can just scroll and have a look to this. It's the exact same content with code. You can just copy the code. You can click on copy, many types of code. You have screenshots. You have video previews. Can I find you a video? Let me check. Yeah, right here. So you can just have a look to the video and make sure you have exactly the same thing. You have links. You have everything you need. All the links, by the way, are available in this small panel right here. See that? You can just click and you get all the links. This is especially, so if you are using the text, well, the links will be directly on the text. Let me find one for you. Yeah, like this one, you can just click on the links. But if you're watching the video like that, you're watching the video, you can just click on this panel. When I will say, talk about this link, go to this link, you can just click on this panel and click on the right link. That's all. About the code, well, each developer has its own way to code and I have mine, obviously. Maybe you won't like it. I'm not using semicolon in JavaScript. I'm using fatter rules. I never use like classic functions. I'm using const and let instead of var and many things like that. But it's up to you. Do as you wish. If you want to refactor, all right? About the prerequisite. Some course portion might vary depending on the OS, but I will always explain. Like maybe there will be a difference between Windows and Mac. I will tell you about that, like using the terminal or some shortcuts in Blender, stuff like that. Do not worry, I will explain. This course is beginner friendly, yes, but you need to know JavaScript basics. If you know nothing about 3GS, it's fine, but if you know nothing about JavaScript, be careful. You need to know about variables, loops, functions, events, and stuff like that. So it's just JavaScript basics. I will be using Visual Studio Code. So this is Visual Studio Code. Maybe you can't see much, but this is Visual Studio Code. You can use any editor you want. I just like this one because it's a well-oiled editor. Like it's working just great. And there is a broad community working on cool updates. Every month we get a new feature, stuff like that. It's really stable. It's performant. It's free. So I really like this one. You can use whatever you want. At a point, indeed, we are going to install a plugin on Visual Studio Code, but I'm quite sure you can find the same, an equivalent plugin for any other editor. So you will be fine. Use whatever you want. I do recommend Visual Studio Code, but use whatever you want. I will be using Chrome. You can use Firefox. Firefox is awesome. Just use Firefox or any modern browser, but not Safari for compatibility problems. We will make websites that work on Safari, but at some point you will see that we are going to use features that don't work and then make them work for Safari. So do not worry, but also because the dev tools of Safari, it's just garbage. So do not use it. It's not garbage. Sorry, it's not as good as Chrome dev tools. And yeah, don't use Internet Explorer for the same reasons. Oh yeah, by the way, at the end, yes, we are going to install a Chrome extension. It's about monitoring stuff on the WebGL, Drawco, stuff like that. It's just a small part at the end, so it's not that important. We are going to use Blender, just as I said earlier. Blender is free. It works on every main OS, Windows, Mac, so it's not a problem. You don't need to know how to use Blender. We will learn that together. So it's bonus, like maybe I think it's 2 hours long video. I will teach you the basics of Blender. This is not a Blender course, so it's just 2 hours on how to use Blender. And we are going to create a model and use it inside your 3GS scene. So this is bonus because I think that knowing 3D software is important, and I really like Blender. Other software like Maya, C4D are just great too, but we are going to use Blender. You don't need to be good at mathematics, and the proof is me, because I'm so bad at mathematics. You will see how bad I am, but still I will try to provide you some tips. I will do a lot of drawing so you can understand how to use sinus, cosinus, place place things randomly on a circle, stuff like that. So we will be doing math, but I will always explain. So you don't need to be good at mathematics. Even though it's better to be good at mathematics, you don't need to be good. If you know nothing about 3GS, you're in the right place. All right. What to do if I'm stuck? Well, if you get stuck, you can join the Discord server. So the link is on the top right, should be on the top right of the page you are looking at right now. Just click on it. The pop-in might be different, but anyway, it should look something like that. And you can join the server, and me or the community will be glad to help you. So just share your problem and we will help you. All right. Well, see you in the next lesson.